hear it. I didn't hear
Yeah,
it.
so, I mean, I asked that, but we didn't hear the last. I'm not. He was in the hot pocket. Like 10 of them. He called me like,
I'll probably bring it in here. Yeah, I work down in Index cars and I crank one up every day like I'm rushing through it. It's like, I need another thing. Yeah,
I just listened to
today I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a plant back in?
Do whatever you want.
That's good. Thank you. My daughter.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Clients who
Okay.
were selling.
all right, we're gonna go ahead and get going. Like whistle for me, guys. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I love the energy in this room this morning. I don't know if it's like the sun's out and everyone. Yeah. I'm
Here today.
You can hear me, right? You're good? Okay, well, we have a packed agenda today. Drew is in DC, so you get me today. He is in DC. He's actually leading the political action committee for RPAC to kind of redo what RPAC means at a national level and to try and drive engagement there. So he's been kind of back-to-back meetings the last couple of days, but he will be on a flight home today. So that is where Drew is, and then he comes home and heads off to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to continue spreading the word of the National Association of Realtors. So just when I'm up here, I'm going to give you a little update on where he's at and how many miles he's flown this year. Because as you all know, he's on the travel team, and that kind of takes him all over the country this year. Okay, to start, as always, we're going to start with a piece of good news or gratitude. Who has something to share? Something positive, something good.
I do.
Yeah.
My daughter Ayla, who's graduating this year, she's been a little track star. It's been fun to watch her. And she has a college, Central Washington, that's really been recruiting her hard. So I think tomorrow, and they've already offered scholarships. It's probably a full ride. And there's a few other schools too that have been calling her. So it's been fun to watch.
Amazing.
Fun to be part of that.
Is she your first going to college?
She is. Yeah. Yeah.
And what events is she in?
Javelin is what she's kind of known for, but the 400, she's blowing it in on that too. So she's all around good at all, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That was some good news. Thank you for sharing, Erin.
Congratulations.
Who else has something to share? Good news, gratitude. It's a packed room. Somebody's. Okay.
I'm very happy with Tyler. We are working together on my first transaction with Capital M.
Nice.
So I'm excited.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's gonna be a great one. Whenever you're working with CapM, everything goes so smooth and it's just hands off, and you're like, oh, I can get a hold of them anytime you need. It's amazing. So
I have some.
yeah.
This is a very weird one, but I'm grateful for Tualatin Valley Fire or the ambulance and then the AMR ambulance. At my house yesterday, a guy was just biking around in LA, just coming down my private street, and he turned in our driveway for some reason, wiped out on his bike, and smashed his head on the concrete. And I ran out and called 911, and he had a concussion. He's a guy about my age, and it was amazing. No one comes down my street. Well, I'm kind of out in the boonies.
That's odd.
And they showed up right away and he was knocked out for like half a minute. You know, it was just, it was all right. You knew where I lived. I mean, people
Yeah.
don't even know where it is. But it was just,
You know, I think that's a great gratitude. I think
Yeah.
we should all sometimes recognize where we live and how fortunate we are to have.
and these guys were there within like 3 minutes and I live
Yeah.
kind of in the country.
He's lucky that you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for saving a life.
I didn't save a life. I mean,
Just take credit.
Yeah.
How about somebody on Zoom? Gratitude, good news, something to share?
I wonder why there's no spots.
Robin, you have something? Nope, you're on a call.
No, I am.
Wow.
Go to Boulder to watch my son graduate. Boulder. After
Amazing.
2 years at U of O, then 4 years in the military, then back for 2 years. He's graduating and done.
Amazing. Very cool. That's some good news. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Well, I will move on. Next, I'm gonna, actually, we have a new face in the room. Crystal, welcome. Thank you for being here. Chris, do you want to introduce Crystal a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, Crystal's currently at Oregon First. She met Syndos a couple of years.
About a
for
year.
the open house, about a year ago. Okay, knows Syndos. She actually was in the office yesterday and I found that out after the fact when we connected, but I know she's also done a deal with Sean Kettering, I think. Crystal's curious about what's going on over here. We met briefly before this meeting and here we are, but yeah, everybody welcome Crystal.
Want to share a fun fact about Crystal, or what do you do for fun, or give us a little nugget?
What do I do for fun? I have a 9-year-old son, so that's where most of my fun times have
You're
been.
supposed to speak in third person. You have-
Right now, we're like trying to get through the Harry Potter movies. Like he's just now getting old enough to like sit through it. So that's really exciting. And we really like to go to the beach. So
Very fun. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here and checking us out. Okay, next up, I'm gonna turn it over to Aaron. I can share my screen and bring this website up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
I just start talking while you're
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah, so I don't know if any of you guys use 45th Parallel Home Inspection. I've been using it for the last 5 years, built relationships with all the inspectors. One guy named Marshall, if you've never used him, big heart, neat guy, kind of quiet. And he just looked really down the other day when I was working with him, and he shared with me that one of his close friends, his son, has muscular dystrophy. He's like a little boy. And if you know anything about it, that's a very degenerative disease. Most of these boys don't live past 20. So they're raising funds. They've raised just over $500,000, which is amazing. And they've been doing it through basically a fundraiser through, well, you can see it, they're rowing the road and you can donate. Well, they just completed. I'm going to read the message straight from him. Might be the easiest way to do it. It says the Rogue River We Row for William fundraiser has been completed and the men on it, including William's father, arrived home safely, holding the record-breaking 2-day feat. The family is still fundraising for their ultimate goal of $2.2 million to receive the treatment for the cure. The first payment is $800,000 and they're currently around 527. The average lifespan of these boys, like I've shared, is 20 years. But even then, likely they can't move any of their muscles in their body. Spreading the word to individuals and companies who can control this life-changing treatment is very much appreciated by the Fogger family and all who love and support them. Saying thank you tremendously for speaking about this. So, I believe that we all have a different heart for different things. I have my own ministry thing I do, but if that hits your heart and you want to help out, I'm sure you'll send out the link for that, and it's greatly appreciated. Spread the word. Thank you.
All vouch for Hunter.
Awesome. Very cool.
thanks, Henry. I think it's so cool in this business that we're able to give back in the way that we can. And Aaron, I really appreciate you bringing this forward. Ricky, I don't know if she's on this call, has brought forward a couple of different charities. And I want you all to be encouraged to do that. We love to send that out in our newsletters. We love to be able to help the community. That is who we are. We are in real estate. We are in the community. We are advocates for the people around us. And I think it's so important that we're able to serve in that way. A little bit more lighthearted than that, we're gonna do a dog walk in 2 weeks that was sent out as well. And these are dogs that are in the foster system and need a new home. So we're gonna go and walk those dogs on the 27th of May. So sign up, I think Lindsay puts that sign up sheet out as well. So just want to continue to bring forth charities and be able to support them when we can. Okay, with that, Tyler. Hi.
Hi,
Good morning.
good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Can you send me the link for that, please, as well? Send it to Capital?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet, thank you.
Yes.
Well, things are going good, you guys. Rates have leveled off, they've come down a little bit. We've tracked this in our office pretty closely over the last 3 years. And every time we see a move down in rates by about 0.25%, the call volume, the amount of pre-approvals goes up by like 1.5 to 2 times. So really, I think there's so much cyclicality in our business right now. It's like the restaurant industry. I'm fond of like making that metaphor where rates go up by like 1/4 and the phones get kind of quiet. People stop calling or they're just like nervous. And so when things come down a little bit and settle out, folks' nerves calm down a little bit, and then they get ready for that next step, which is pre-approval. And then the next step beyond that is making offers on homes. So I'm encouraged. The pundits are saying, if you're looking at the news and reading any of that, they are saying rates are going to come down this year. I've heard it before, so I'm cautiously optimistic always about that speak because nobody really knows what the future holds. But as we see the summer evolve, as we see maybe a little bit more inventory coming in, as we see rates trickle down a little bit, I think we've got an opportunity here to get kind of busy, which is fun, which is where we should be, because then that allows us the opportunity to really give back to the community, I think, and have the gratitude that we do for the folks that we serve. That stuff is really important. I'm getting a lot of questions about adjustable rate mortgages right now. So I just want to address that. When we look at the numbers for adjustable rates right now, it costs about the same amount of money in points and fees to buy down on a fixed rate note. So just as a heads up, adjustable rate mortgages, because our yield curve is inverted right now, meaning that short-term yields are so high, the short-term notes are not very attractive to banks, therefore they're not very attractive to the consumer, because imagine a world in which rates go down to 5.5 all of a sudden and somebody locked in on an adjustable rate at 6.125. How quickly do you think they're going to refinance out of that? As soon as possible, right? So banks are like not pushing the adjustable rates. There are times where it's right for certain people, but it's a very fee-heavy mortgage. So if you get consumers asking, borrowers, buyers asking about adjustable rates and what's going on, of course, always refer them to us, but I'm getting a lot of questions about that. I am seeing some loosening in our world from an underwriting perspective, which is an encouraging sign always from this is how banks feel, investors are feeling. I'll give you an example. We just signed up with a new jumbo lender that allows for first-time home buyers with automated approval. There's no overlays to document their payment history on their rental, on what they paid rent on. So typically jumbo lenders require that we document anywhere from a 12 to 24 month history of on-time payment on rent if there's no mortgage on their credit report. That is a big deal in my industry, that kind of loosening of the guidelines. As long as folks are well-qualified people right now, banks are excited to give out mortgages. And that's a good thing. It's not like we're going to stated income. Again, it's like well-documented mortgages close, well-qualified borrowers close on mortgages. But that to me, the tightening, when we start seeing tightening on underwriting guidelines, that makes me a little bit nervous about what the future holds. So I think people much smarter than me are like predicting the future, that things look good, the forecast looks good. Questions? Okay.
Thanks, Tyler.
Good luck out
Great
there.
update.
Yeah, you bet. Have a good day.
Cautiously optimistic. I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
Who's feeling busy? I heard from like 3 of you yesterday that you're like, I'm so busy. So I think we're sitting on something there. Kylie, were you busy yesterday?
Yes,
Mhm.
you guys were very busy last weekend.
Was that what the biggest day since last September?
Yeah.
Biggest day ever? I don't know.
19 field day that I remember, like last year, and then yesterday was 16.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so things are happening. It is the spring market. Tax day is over. It is time to sell some houses. Like it is real. I think that was probably one of the busiest Mondays I've seen on the transaction side in a very long time. And then I checked in with Garrett, our listing manager this morning, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So we are busy as a transaction and support team, and that's because all of your hard work. And I did hear from a lot of you, like, you're busy. So I don't know if it's the rates or what, but it's good. Sun is out. It is time to sell some houses. That's for sure. With that, let's turn it over to opportunities and needs. So anyone looking for a buyer or have a listing coming on the market that you want to share with the group, something unique or something?
I got it.
Yeah.
I've got a listing at 4913 Barbara Lynn Way in Milwaukee. It's a 2.5, almost a brand new home. My buyers bought it, or my sellers bought it 2.5 years ago. And we started out at 777 and then we dropped it to 749, because I didn't see any activity, and I'm still not seeing any activity. It's like, I would love some feedback from someone telling me like, hey, maybe I'm way overpriced, or, like maybe I should just be patient. I haven't had a single showing yet. And it's
How long has it been
crazy.
on?
Been on like almost 2 weeks, it feels like, but to have nobody wanting to, open a Century box is a little alarming for me. And I already had that talk. I had to send my sellers a message saying, hey, I hate to do this, but, I'd rather tell you now than, not tell you at all. But I'm getting no activity. And I downloaded the activity sheet, sent it to them and said, look, we got to talk tomorrow about, dropping this price, let you sit on it for a night and stew on it. And I'll call you and we'll talk. And so they said, what's the price going to be? And I'm like, I think 749. Maybe we'll start seeing some action, but doesn't seem like we're going to get any action.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone in that.
Fort Barbara Lynn, 4913 Barbara Lynn.
On Zillow Showcase?
Yeah, we're on Zillow Showcase. It's staged.
Another agent of the company had a similar situation this week, lower price point, 600 around, and it was like, it's been on market 2 weeks and no showing. I don't know what's going on. So
Yeah.
you're not alone. Aaron.
Yeah, I have several. I don't know, Tyler's news this morning made me smile because I have a bunch of listings and I'm getting activity on quite a few. My Lake Oswego right there on the golf course is getting a lot. I know, Robin, you showed it. And it represents really well. It's listed as a 5-bedroom. Really, truly, it's probably more of a 4-bedroom. One of the bedrooms really small, but we're getting up. We had 20 people come to the open house, lots of activity. I had one of the agents that has another listing just down from me, another call me saying she's called 4 other agents. They're not getting any activity. So this feels like all the agents are coming together, but pricing is so critical. Feedback, checking in, follow up. I'll say all that. I had one pop up and I think I announced it maybe on the last call. It's a true log cabin, 2,800 square feet off Pitt Road. It's kind of in between Newburgh and Hillsborough. A bunch of showings there too. We actually had 6 families come to the open house. A lot of people interested, but no one's bid yet. So if you have anybody that wants to be on 3 acres, koi pond, a little horse corral, a huge shop. The guy had hot rods in there. He's got all kinds. It's amazing. So if you have anybody that wants some space, some acreage to be in wine country, hit me up. That's for $950. And I think we priced that real aggressive, honestly.
How long has it been on the market?
4 days. Okay. I think, yeah.
What's that?
Slack me. I don't remember it offhand. Val, if you're listening, Slack.
It is 1685 Northeast Pitt Road.
Thank you.
Grace.
I have a listing tomorrow on Marie in the Cameron House. It's right for Farmingdale or Farmington. 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,200 square feet. It'll be $329. The owner is a woodworker and he's done this absolutely amazing job inside of there's just wood features everywhere. I'd say it has a masculine feel for sure. So we'll see who buys it. So there's that. I also wanted to ask the group, has anyone heard of the artist named Still Woozy? Still Woozy. Okay, Still Woozy just played in Coachella in front of 25,000 people. He's super popular with the younger crowd, I guess. He bought one of my listings. Yeah, so we're pending with him. And he's got like ridiculous amounts of Instagram followers. So he's kind of a rock star. You guys look him up. He's pretty good.
Does he live in Portland or like?
Yeah, he lives in Portland. Still Woozy is the name of his band. Still like woozy, like still. Yeah. But anyway, that's, I don't usually sell famous people. I mean, I don't know how famous he is, but I told my daughter, she's like, "What? Still Woozy?" So she's
Hang out with you a little more often, kid.
Okay, Sue, I see your hands up there.
Yep, I have a listing coming in Bethany. It's gonna go live at the end of May. We're looking at 850 to 875. It's got 5 bedrooms. Square footage is a little over 3,000. Backyard turf, front yard turf, corner lot. I think that's about it.
Do you know when it was built or about?
Yep, it was built in 18 to 8.
Looks like a good price.
Built in 08.
Nice. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing, Sue. Jet, is that your hand?
Yeah, I have a real special listing coming on the market this weekend. Perfect for clients that if you have big families or multi-generational setup. Over 4,000 square feet. You got 6 bedrooms, 2 bonus rooms. It's on a cul-de-sac in Gladstone. Looking through comps, it's the biggest house that's been on the market in the last 3-4 years. It's turnkey. Everything's been renovated. It's a 1970. And if you have any clients that are like really into gardening, landscaping, for those of you familiar with the backyard habitat certification, it's a platinum level, which I guess is the highest. Everything's native and ecological and all that good stuff. But really great listing coming to market on Friday. And that'll be priced at $899.
Also seems like a good price. We're being aggressive. Sean, what do you got?
Had 2 sale fails on my place on Cooper Mountain last week within 3 days. So we're 1.6 and an acre, 5,000 square foot home. It's beautiful, but we're back available again. We still
Inspections on either of us?
didn't get to them. Literally panicked.
Financing?
Fun stuff.
Financing?
No, they literally panicked. Wasn't financing. They were, one was 2 days in, the other one was 3 days in. So the start of the week, end of the week. Back on. Which means I killed the deal in Stafford. Predicated upon it. So anyhow, it's a great house. And it was 6 for a decent deal. We were priced there because of a new contemporary that was at 1.9 down the street, South End. So someone from
It's a roller coaster. You're gonna hit the next. It's gonna be great.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Love you guys. You'll get it done. Okay, with that.
I have one more thing. This one that's not to do with listings, but I have a house that's in contract that's dealing with a lien with the SBA. Small Business Association loans, and come to find out that Doge has cut 80% of their Northwest employees, so they're down to 2 people handling every single Northwest SBA file. So that this could take 3 months to get the lien. So just take some things into consideration if you're dealing with government right now.
Good advice. Yep.
People are overloaded.
Yep. Okay, well, on that happy note, let's go. Subject. So today I'm super excited about what we're unveiling. I think I've heard or I've shared some murmurs of this in the past with you, but today we're going to talk about a thing called Breakthrough Broker. It's going to be Ops Agent Marketing Center. This is going to allow you to have the power back in your hands to create social media graphics, to do flyers, to do email blasts, open house flyers, anything you'd like. It's just a simple MLS Connect. And it'll spit out all sorts of different custom branding materials to you. So, you know, from our standpoint, we just always want to be innovating, bringing the best tech tools to our agents and making sure that, you know, we're valuing your time and efficiency. So that this is just another iteration of how we're going to continue to improve and give you better tech. So our plan here is we'll kind of show you the training behind the scenes of how the Opt Agent Marketing Center is going to work. Your listing team is still going to provide you all of those assets. It's just that you have access to do it on your own if you so chose. In the past, we've been using kind of a series of Canva and ActivePipe and Photoshop and Adobe and all of these different platforms to create templates for you. Now it's just a simple MLS Connect and you can have everything that you would like. We'll also still use you on Slack so that you have it that way as well. But it will be really seamless and we'll cut down on, just those errors and little things that can happen when you have too many humans trying to touch things. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Lindsay, do we have Josh or Bobby? Bobby? Bobby, are you here with us? Bobby,
I'm
there you
here.
are.
Good morning, everybody.
Amazing. Good morning. I'll turn it over to you now.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. I'm super excited to share with you guys the Opt Marketing Center. So as mentioned, we've been working with the Opt team to essentially build this out. You've got some of your own custom content in here. But today I'm going to give you guys just a quick overview, a little tutorial of the system. And then after, we'll send you guys login credentials. You can get into it. You can play around with it. And we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And we'll jump into it. So you'll see when you log in for the very first time, this is the home page of the Opt Marketing Center. So a couple ways to access some of the content, some of the templates. And as mentioned, this is available for you guys. It's going to be quicker than if you were to go through Canva and manually create anything. It's also connected with the MLS. So you can enter an MLS number. It's going to auto-populate templates, designs, all sorts of things for you. But to note, this is your go-to marketing center. So if you guys have a new listing, if you're doing an open house, if you want to do sphere marketing, prospecting, farming, any of that, all of it, it's all available here. So a couple ways to access some of the content. In the top, you'll see a create button. You'll see you can access the postcards, the flyers, the social media, all this good stuff. You'll also see this bundles drop down. So that's just if you have maybe you have a new listing or you're doing an open house. You'll find all that specific content within those specific bundles as well. You'll also see a support button here. So if you guys are playing around the system, if you have questions, if you experience an issue, feedback, requests, things like that, you'll see with support. You can call us, you can text us, you can email us. We have a support team available to you as well. So keep that in mind. As I scroll down, you'll also see the bundles that are all available here that are in the top. And then everything that's under Create is available here as well. So obviously, I'm not going to get through everything today. I'm just going to go into a couple of the items, show you some of the main features, all that good stuff. But there's a ton of content in here, and we'll continue to add to it, to enhance it, to get things in here that you guys will use. It is important when you log in for the very first time, in the top right, you're going to see your name here. You're going to see this Edit Profile button. I want to make sure when you guys have access, when you log in for the first time, go to Edit Profile up here. Fill out all your contact information. Some of this might already be completed for you already, but if not, fill out anything that's missing. You can add your headshot. You can add additional headshots that you can actually toggle between on the templates. All of this is going to auto-populate onto the templates for you. So that's why it's important. Fill it out here. You don't have to make changes within the templates themselves. On the left side, you'll also see some additional options. So you got company information, you've got team management. I'm actually going to show you within the templates how you can toggle between single agent, 2-agent, and team versions. So if you're co-listing a listing, you can actually add that additional contact information. I'll show you how that looks and works in the templates though. And then if you ever need to update your password here, this is where you'll do so. So again, that's Edit Profile on the top right. Also in the top right, there's some additional items here that are specific to your account. So again, everybody's going to have their own individual account. And I'm going to show you how you can actually place any orders yourselves. So whether you want to get something professionally printed or mailed through the system, you can do that. You can also download anything. You can print from home, print from the office, whatever you like to do. But all your past orders, if you do order anything in the system, will be available here. Marketing packages. A marketing package, this is what is going to be automatically sent to you when you have a new listing that goes active in the MLS. It's essentially automated marketing done for you. So when you have a new listing that goes active in the MLS, you're going to receive an email. I'm just going to show you an example. It's going to look something like this. It's going to say, congrats on a new listing. Obviously, this would be the Opt logo here. It'll have the address. You'll scroll down and there's going to be a bunch of templates here, and they're already going to be completed for you with your listing information on it, and also with your branding, your contact information on it. So there'll be everything from social posts to listing flyers and postcards and open house content. So it's already done, automated for you. So you're going to receive this email, and usually it takes maybe a couple of hours from when it goes active in the MLS. You'll receive the email, but your marketing packages are all going to save here as well. So you can access them either way. One important note to make about this is that the email address that you use in the MLS, it does need to be the same email address that you use to log into the Marketing Center here in order for this feature to work. So sometimes agents come to me and they're like, Bobby, I listed this yesterday. I never got my marketing package. What's going on? I'll look into it. And they've got 2 different emails. So as long as the email addresses match up, this will be sent successfully. So just a little side note there. Save designs. Anything you create within the Marketing Center here that you save will be available here. So you can refer back to anything, make edits, changes, re-download, reprint, whatever you want to do there. Saved landing pages. These are property websites. So we actually have a feature that allows you to create your very own property website. I'll jump into that in a little bit, actually. Saved mailing lists. I'm going to show you next how you can actually create a postcard. And within a handful of clicks, you can actually get it printed, stamped, mailed out all through the system. So you can upload your own mailing list, or you can purchase a mailing list, and all of your mailing lists will save here under saved mailing lists. So you can re-access those. If you need to make edits to them, you can do so, but you'll find those there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to jump into some of the templates here. Let me see. Can you guys still see my screen okay? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So for starters, I'm going to go into a postcard, and I'm going to show you how simple it is just to create something. And then we're actually going to use our direct mail feature, and I'll show you how you can actually send it out to whether it's your contact list or a contact list that you want to purchase within the system here. So as mentioned, bunch of different content in here. You'll always find your listing, your open house content, but we've got other stuff such as automated postcard campaigns. We've got market stats, prospecting postcards. The idea with these postcards is for one to stay in front of your sphere, for you to be doing prospecting, additional marketing. So a lot of different strategies here. And I just want to highlight that you don't have to have a listing to use anything within the system here. A lot of things for you to be doing to continue to build your business, essentially. But I'm going to go into a listing postcard, and you'll see in the listing postcards, a bunch of different designs here. So you've got all sorts of different design options here. When you find one you like, you'll select it. And with the postcards, you'll notice some of them have a few different options. So we've got a couple sizes. So you'll see that smaller 4 1/4 by 6 size, and we have that larger jumbo 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 size. And then for a couple of them, we also have a QR code option. So let's say if you wanted to upload a QR code, you could select that option. So when you select the design you like, the option, it's then going to take you to what we call the editor here. So this is going to give you the ability to actually customize and create your postcard in this case. So you'll see everything is in template editing. So let's say I wanted to change this to be, coming soon or just sold. I can update the text. I can drag and drop images. You'll see at the top here how I can toggle from the front to the back. I've got some more images here that I could manually update, text if I wanted to add bullet points, things like that. If I need to adjust the font size, this is how I can customize and do that. With the postcard template specifically, you'll see this backspace is reserved for the postal information. So if you use our direct mail feature, this is where the recipient name, address, postage, all that gets printed. On the left here, you'll see some additional options. So this is that MLS lookup feature. So let's say you've got an active MLS number. You can enter that MLS number. You can confirm the address, and then it's actually going to bring in all the information for you. So it's going to bring in the images, whatever's in the template. So you'll see the images, the address, the price, beds, baths, square feet, all of that automatically for me. You'll see it'll bring in the description, and you'll notice like this ended like over my contact information. So if I need to update that, I can actually update the text, or I can make it smaller, things like that. If I want to swap out an image, all I have to do is click the image I want to replace. If I go to use MLS photos, it's going to download all the photos that were included in the MLS. So I can simply select, maybe I wanted to do like a kitchen image or a exterior image. I could select that, crop it, swap it out for that specific image box. So that's the MLS lookup. It'll automatically bring everything in for you, and then you can make your changes and customizations from there. Also on the left, you'll see the team option. So I mentioned this. If you're working with a second agent or a team, you have the ability to update that contact information for them as well. And then you'll see the print pricing. This will give you an idea what the print pricing costs if you want to get anything professionally printed or mailed. It'll break down the quantities and what that cost will be for you. I've also got the Realtor logo on-off switch here. So you'll see on this specific design, it displays in the bottom right. That's where you can toggle that on or off. You can actually default that on or off in your profile as well if you'd like. You'll notice in all of the templates, you have this help button here. So maybe you had a question or an issue, you could contact our support team directly, and they will email you back directly through the system here as well. And then in the top right, so let's say I'm all done with my postcard. All looks good. I've proofed it, and I want to actually get it printed and mailed. You'll see all of your options are going to be in the top right. And depending on the template type, some of these will be enabled or some of these will be disabled. So with everything you can download. So let's say this was a flyer. I could simply download the PDF. I could print it from home, print it from the office. We also have the PDF with crop mark version. So let's say you've got a preferred print vendor that you use. Most professional print companies will require the crop mark version. So you can download this, you could send it to them, have them print it for you. And then you'll notice the PNG is always available as well. So you can download anything. You'll see share, and depending on the template type, there'll be different sharing capabilities. So in this situation, I can actually email this to a list of contacts if I'd like to do so. With social media, you'll see I can actually post to social media or text the image to myself. And you'll see with the property websites, you can actually generate a QR code. So again, there'll be different options enabled depending on the template type here. And then I can order prints if I wanted to order maybe like 100 of these and I wanted to hand stamp them, get them in the mail, I could do so. But the big feature here is going to be direct mail. So this is available only for our mailable templates. That includes postcards, letters. We have some mailable flyers and some mailable newsletters that you'll notice as well. So when I go to direct mail here, you've got two options. So let's say you've got an existing address list. Maybe that's your sphere of influence, your contact list, or maybe you got a list from another data provider or your lender, something like that. You can simply upload that list here. It does have to be in a specific format, so we can confirm the name, address, all that matches up, but it'll walk you through that. And then you can get this printed, stamped, and mailed to those names and addresses. But let's say you don't have a mailing list, but you really want to send your postcard to a specific area, maybe to the neighborhood where your listing is. You can select this right option, want to target a new neighborhood. So this is eventually going to take us to our mapping tool, and it's going to give us the ability to actually draw a radius on a map and pick and choose where exactly we want to send it. So you'll see here, anytime you go through the checkout process, you have to proof it, make sure all looks good. When you accept, it'll give you little turnaround details on the turnaround time there. And then it'll take us to our mapping tool. So this is where we could add a specific address. We could add a city or a zip code. And I'm actually just going to go over this listing address here. We're going to go to this neighborhood and we're going to pretend to send this to the actual neighborhood here. So you'll see it'll take me over that area on the map. And I can zoom in and I can really see where this listing is. If I zoom out, now I can select points or radius. So you'll see that in the top right here. So a radius just allows you to send it to a general radius there. Or if you want to get really specific and you want to do points and you want to hit like certain streets and areas or just be on this way, the highway, you can do that as well. So, and then you'll see you've got other filters here. So you can select if you want to send it to what type of homeowner type. So is it an owner or a renter or both? And then you can actually do these optional filters if you really wanted to as well. When I generate the list here, it's going to pull in this case, all of the confirmed homeowners and renters in this radius, which it's telling me 468. Maybe that's more than what you want to send to. You can adjust that radius. You can click generate list again, and it'll update that number. So now it's telling me 207. So say, you know what, that sounds good. I'm going to send my new listing postcard to the 207 closest names and addresses in the radius here to the listing. So it'll break down the cost there. And then it's gonna, the next slide, you'll actually have the ability to include yourself in the mailing list. So if you want to receive a copy, see when it shows up, all of that, you can include yourself. You can save this list to your account if you'd like to do so as well. So you'll see here where you can include yourself. And then you'll see it's going to break down the entire cost here. So for my 208 postcards, because I am including myself, it's going to cost me a total of $187.20. That includes everything. So this is going to be printed, stamped, mailed out all through the system. It'll go first class mail, and it'll arrive in those mailboxes within 3 to 5 business days. I'm going to pay with my credit card when I add to cart here a total of $187.20. So that's direct mail. Again, that goes first class. And again, once I've paid for this, that mailing list, you'll see the mailing list priced here. It's $14.56 just for the mailing list, 7 cents per address. Once I purchase this, I now own this mailing list. So let's say I want to send the same mailing list, a just sold postcard down the road. I can create my just sold postcard. I can then select direct mail, go to this left option here. And that list that I'll have saved will be available for me to select. I don't have to pay that $14 or whatever it was. I now own that mailing list. So really quick, easy way. You can see in a matter of several clicks how I can create a postcard, how I can pick and choose where exactly I want to send it to, pay for it. And then again, this will be printed, stamped, mailed out, and sent to those names and addresses. So that's direct mail. That's available just for our mailable templates. Postcards, letters. We've got some mailable newsletters and some mailable flyers. If anybody has any questions there, don't hesitate to, you can speak up at any point, or you can throw anything into the chat and we can discuss.
Bobby, I have a simple question.
Please.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
You said then you'll own that mailing list. What does that mean? You'll just have a copy of that
It'll be
mailing list,
saved
or
in there for you to resend to.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that mailing list, if I purchased it, it would be available here under my saved mailing lists. And then let's say I want to reuse it. I don't have to pay for it again. I now own that list. So if I go to my postcard again, if I created a just sold postcard, I go to direct mail, that list that I previously purchased is now available here. So I don't have to pay that 14, 15 bucks, whatever it was for it. I now own that list. I can reuse it as much as I want. I'm just paying for the print and the postage at that point. Cool. I'll continue with a couple other things. Again, if anybody has any questions, anything like that, don't hesitate to stop me at any point. So social media. Tons of social content in here. You'll see everything again from listing, open house posts, but we've got engagement posts and holiday posts and market stats, prospecting, all sorts of items here for you simply to be active on your social media. So whether you're marketing to your sphere, reminding them that you're an agent. Again, a lot of different strategies here, but a couple things with the social media posts that make it really easy to create and post on your social media. And you'll notice that we've got two different sizes. So you'll see the story sized, which is that kind of that horizontal size for your Facebook, your Instagram stories. Was also just the square size for a regular Instagram, Facebook post. So when you find a design that you like, and you'll see tons of different options here, you'll simply click on the design that you like. It's going to take you to the editor. And again, it's going to work the same as the postcard we just created. So you have the ability for all in template editing. If you want to change the text, the images, things like that. If you want to enter that MLS number, let it bring in some of the details for you, you can do so. When you're done with social media, you can always download anything. So you can download the PNG directly to your computer, and then you could pull up your Facebook or log into your Facebook, and you can post it from there. Or, as mentioned earlier, depending on the template type, there's different sharing capabilities. So for example, I can share this directly to social media. If I want to post this directly on my Facebook, I can do so. I can email this to a list of contacts if I'd like to do so. One thing to note with the email, it's not like an email campaign. It just gives you the ability to upload your contact list or manually add your contact list and send out. So if you want to see statistics, things like that, I recommend going through whoever you do that through currently. But if you want to simply just email out through the system, that's available to you here. Send a phone is probably the biggest feature. So let's say I've created my new social post. I can add my phone number here. I'll click send. I'm going to get a text message from this 720 number, typically within about like 30 seconds or so, with the image I just created. I can then click on the image, save it to my phone, and then I can pull up my social apps. So my Instagram, my Facebook, whatever you use. And that image you created was already saved to your phone. So you can simply access it and post it onto your social platforms from there. So really quick, easy way to create any social content. Go to share, send a phone. Of course, you can download anything as well, but it makes it easy to get it on to your social media from there. The other feature I want to share with you guys are the property websites. So these are labeled here as property showcase templates. This gives you the ability to actually customize and create your very own property website. So I see a lot of agents that leverage this in different ways, but oftentimes will go to a listing appointment and they'll show their potential client all the ways they're going to market their listing. And this is one way to stand out, that they're going to create their very own website for their listing as well. So you'll see a few different designs here. And when you click a design that you like, it's going to take you again to the editor, and it's going to work the same as the postcard we created, as the social media post, anything like that. So you'll see the few of the different designs. They're just different layouts for you, but they're already structured and formatted for you. So it's going to work the same. Again, if I wanted to, let me see if I can actually get that MLS number, enter MLS number, confirm the address, bring in all those details for me here. So we'll bring in the images, the description, the beds, baths, square feet, all the details here. If I want to update any of the images or rearrange any of the images, I can do so. So everything that was included in the MLS is available here. Or if we need to remove anything, I can do so. Some property features. Do note some of the templates have property feature specific text fields here, but we don't get that information from the MLS. So this is something that you would have to change and customize and update. On this specific template, it shows it where it is on the map tool, and this is totally interactive. So you can zoom in, zoom out. And then you'll see your information. And then at the bottom, there's a contact form here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to publish this. And if anybody came to my website here, they could fill this form out. This go directly to my email, and then I could correspond back with them here. So let's say I'm all done. you can preview it in the top right to see how it's actually going to look as a website. In order to publish it, as I mentioned, I do need to save it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to do this as test. And I know this is an active listing, so I will delete and remove this after the fact as well, so nobody can actually access it. But when you go to save and publish, it's going to create its own unique URL. And then anybody will have access to that URL. So you can share it via link. You can also generate a QR code. So once you've published it under share, this is where the ability to generate the QR code would be available. And then you could plug that QR code into your postcard, into your flyer, things like that. And then you'll manage your property websites. Will all be managed under saved landing pages. So they're not under saved designs, they're under saved landing pages. So the one, if I was to save and publish it, would be available here. If I needed to make edits to it, you'll see that it just published now. This is where I'll manage that. So if you need the link, if you need to set the deactivation date, make edits to it, maybe there was a price adjustment, things like that, this is where you will manage those property websites. So you'll see here, if I go to view landing page, it's going to take me and it's going to create this unique URL. So it's still going to be under the optagentmarketing.com. So I've had agents that ask like, well, how can I create my own custom URL or can I customize that within the system, which you cannot in the system here. So if you wanted your own unique URL, you could go, and I've had agents go to like GoDaddy.com, they'll purchase their own unique URL and they'll just forward that to this one. So there's workarounds there if you really wanted your own unique domain. You'll see everything's interactive. So if I jump down to the gallery, it'll take me there. I can scroll through all the photos. Just all the information that I had included. Again, I can zoom in on the map tool, really see where this is at. And then again, you've got that contact form at the bottom. So as mentioned, these are all available under saved landing pages here in the top right. And again, this is where you'll manage that. Any questions with how that looks, works, anything like that? Or any questions overall? Any of the other templates, items? I just wanted to give a quick kind of intro to the platform today. There's still a ton of content in here. I think I saw a comment on videos. Let me see. So Audrey, yes, the social section does have video capabilities. So you'll actually find these under videos. We have a video creator tool. You'll see here that actually gives you the ability to create your own videos. And we've already kind of structured and formatted them for you, such as like market stats and open house and just sold and just listed, even like self-promo videos. And you can actually put pictures together within the video creator tool that'll actually create a video for you. And then you'll download that video file and then you can share that on your social media there. You'll notice there's presentations, there's listing and buyer presentations. They're already formatted, structured for you as well, but you can go in, you can customize them, you can add or delete pages, update the images, the text fields, things like that. Tons of helpful documents, great open house content. So there's really a ton of stuff in here for you guys. And the goal of today's intro was just to give you a little snippet of what that is. And we'll connect and send out your login credentials so you guys can start playing around with it, getting into it, and actually using it for your marketing going forward.
Any other questions for Bobby here? No? So Bobby, it sounds like you're gonna send out login instructions to everybody, is that right?
Yeah, I think I'll connect with, with you or Lindsay. It might just be better if it comes directly from you guys. I realize sometimes from my email, it might go directly to spam. So I'll coordinate with Lindsay and we'll make sure that gets out successfully. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Any other questions for Bobby?
Curbside did.
Oh, okay. It is just your email and the password is secure. So, and then once you get in, you change your password. So you could try that too, but we'll make sure everyone gets that.
Bobby, you said that there's a listing presentation. Is it the actual listing presentation that we would run through with a seller, or is it something else?
Nope, exactly. That's what it is. So
Okay.
yeah, you'll see there's a couple different formats here. And so actually I'll just jump into one of these examples. And we've already have it structured for you. So you'll see, actually, I'm going to go into this. I'll go to this grid view here.
Where would I find that?
It's just going to be under presentations, and then you'll see listing and buyer options there.
There it is.
Yeah. So you'll see we've already formatted it for you with like, information about yourself, about the company. And then there's like client reviews and kind of the expectations along the process there. And then even like competitions, all of these. So it's already structured for you. And then you can come in here, you can update the text, the images, you can remove. If you wanted to remove certain pages, you can do so. But exactly, you would download this, and then this is what you'd go through with your potential client there.
So much to explore. So many options in here. Every time I've been in here, I get overwhelmed, but it's great. So thank you so much, Bobby. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, guys, jump into it, play around with it. I know there's a ton of stuff in there, but overall, as you can see, it's really intuitive. It's pretty easy to use. And then we'll coordinate additional trainings or strategy sessions in the future as needed as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.
Thanks. So at this point, we've uploaded a handful of like ops templates to there, and you'll see those there at the beginning of each section. The first couple of templates are the ones that you're maybe used to seeing. And then further down, they have our colors, but they might not feel super on brand for us. So as it goes, we're going to continue to make sure it's very on brand for us because, we want to make sure that everything looks and feels as we want it to. So Nico and Jiro and Lindsay have been really hard at work on that. But what are your thoughts on it overall as a platform? Yeah. Won't change anything from our standpoint. We will still be slacking you your materials for every listing because we still want to make sure those are readily available in your hands. But just know that you have a lot of control and customization and all sorts of things that you can do, and it should be pretty easy with an MLS Connect. So excited about that. Sorry, today was a little bit more of a training meeting than most meetings are, but hopefully you'll find that valuable. Cool. Okay, break.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.